In 1937, an Australian government official stood before a conference of state and federal authorities and asked a question. He asked it plainly, officially, on the record. Are we going to have 1 million blacks in the Commonwealth? Or are we going to merge them into our white community and eventually forget that there were any Aborigines in Australia? With a policy. Between 1910 and 1970, the Australian government systematically removed Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from their families as official, legislated government policy. These children are known as the stolen generations, the policy. Beginning in the late 1800s and accelerating through the early 20th century, Australian state and federal governments began passing a series of Protection Acts, legislation that gave the government near total control over Aboriginal people's lives. The ideology behind the removal policy was explicit. Neville believed that Aboriginal people of mixed descent, children with both Indigenous and European ancestry, could be absorbed into white society if they were taken young enough, separated from their families, stripped of language, culture, and connection, raised as domestic servants or farm laborers in white households or church-run institutions. The goal was not welfare, it was eradication. Not through mass killing, the language was careful, bureaucratic, almost clinical, but through the deliberate destruction of a people's ability to pass their culture to the next generation. In 1997, a government inquiry would find a word for this. That word was genocide. Sorry. For decades, the Australian government did not apologise. A national apology was the first. For 11 years, the word sorry was not said. On February 13, 2008, that changed. Newly elected Prime Minister Kevin Rudd stood before Parliament, with thousands of Aboriginal Australians watching on screens outside, and he said it. We apologise for the laws and policies of successive parliaments and governments that have inflicted profound grief, suffering, and loss on these our fellow Australians. We apologise especially for the removal of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from their families, their communities, and their country. We say sorry. It was a significant moment, but an apology is not reparations. Of the 54 recommendations in the Bringing Them Home report, the majority remain unimplemented more than 2 decades later. The gap in life expectancy, health outcomes, and social outcomes between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians persists. Aboriginal children today are overrepresented in out-of-home care at rates higher than at any point during the Stolen Generations era,